Hello, it's 𝘱𝘏𝑀. Hey, so we're gonna be doing fire signs, your ESPM, aka your 4 using the chakra meditation deck. Definitely use this time to use those cards to kind of meditate on what you should be focused on for the new moon. Okay, if you're watching this afterwards, don't worry, there will be plenty of new moons coming up. Okay, so let's see. You guys can definitely check me out on 𝘱ⴏ𴇾ⴅⴅcom. A lot of, look at this. Solar and sacral plexus, okay? Super pretty. Okay, look at those. Look at all those oranges and yellows. Look at all those. It's mostly yellows. Okay, you want to make sure you're connected, okay? Connected to anything that you're doing, anything that you're adding value to, or anything that you're spending your energy and time in, okay? All right, so we have sexual energy. So that's kind of where you're emotionally connected to. Make sure you're connecting to emotionally sexual partners. If not, review and edit that list down, or that person, okay? And we're going to go into the spiritual area where your personal power is going to be your mantra, okay? Especially spiritually because that's going to be the time where you have the opportunity to kind of really meet yourself. Like, hey, where am I at? Where can I go? Where do I want to go? Is there more things I'm going to learn or want to learn that are going to bring me, to the center of my purpose, my soul purpose, but also the journey that I'm going to be enjoying for the long term, okay? And then we have decisions. All right, so that's going to be in the physical. So the physical is about that long-term decision making. How can I now shape my spiritual decision making to my physical activities, okay, or my practicality of life, okay? Then we have the self-esteem, okay? This is going to be for your mental. So this is having where your mind is at. So where your mind is at and how well your mind is how well your physical, your body is going to be, is how well your spiritual aura is going to come off. And then also how you're going to be able to maintain your auric body is where you put in, what you put in your mind and where you put it at, okay? So if right here is telling you to focus on your solar plexus, then you're going to be putting solar plexus fueled, what is that word where they say where it's like flashes, or how memory remembers, but you're going to be putting those flashes in your mind, okay, where you're going to be able to connect back to it. If it's linked to sex, being emotionally tied to it, then use that sexual, because I love, okay, so listen, my Plant Baby Noms page is really generally based off like my sexual appetite mixed with my emotional maturity to attract a sexually mature, emotional partner. So that development is like a mirror of what I want personally and what I'm connected emotionally to. So food is always phallic to me. So when I look at some good, sexy, thick cucumbers, I'm just like, oh, yes, I can fuel that with my own personal, practicality, which is routine. I can add that, because this green is here. I can connect that to my water and then, do mantras from that perspective, but I'm also putting in that phallic. I get to cut some, a long phallic symbol up, okay? So whatever you need to do to connect yourself to the sexual energy, even if you're thinking about the sexual sounds, like I know I love when I'm deep breathing, I'm like, ooh, is this turning me on or turning me up to the vibration that I have, okay? And everything is created through the sexual energy, okay? So I love you guys. I think I'm on 4% right now, so I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Why? Because I have to do this. But I am on 4%, so if it shut off, I apologize. Okay, so we have the Hermit. So you're going to go into the areas where you're going to learn the depth of your sexual nature, but also your emotional understanding so far, where you're at, your age, your demographic, whatever, or what you know about sex, and then what you can do to gain more pleasure from sex, okay? Pleasure is a right, okay? Not an option. Okay, we got the Page of Wands. Look at this. Petty P gonna come in and remind you that your personal power comes in from being naive a little bit, but also not having enough spiritual, like debt where something is like totally off the rim. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna deeperly research in this, but I had this thing for being like nun pussy. Yes, I had this thing for being like nun pussy, so I was like connected to nuns or whatever, and plus I was like into the American Horror Story, but whatever. So it was going to be about, do nuns have like a different type of debt in the spiritual realm where they take that part of their physical decision making, okay, out of the equation. But that has nothing to do with you guys. But some of you guys, like what I was saying, is sometimes you guys have like a dry spell or a dry moment or a dry desert or like a dry season where it's like it goes, and that's a part of a debt, when you have to even if you're paying yourself back, you know, for not listening or for needing to have more, you know, spiritual guidance. Okay, so then we got the Eight of Wands. So a lot of information going to come in to help you make and formulate those decisions. And then we have the Queen of Wands, sexually, maturely, and to boost your self-esteem. Okay, you do not want to seek partners or anything out of low self-esteem, but you also want to make sure that you're taking in and inviting the flattery. Okay, so that way it's easy to let go, but also not something that's harmful for you to break up with every time you're bored with the compliments. Okay, so pay attention to your guides, and I'll see you guys in your next video. Ciao, bellos.